Students, staff, parents, guests, and our veterans to this very special program. Never before have we had the opportunity to acknowledge and learn of the true meaning of Veterans Day during a regular school day. Students, please let this be an opportunity for you to truly gain respect and a better understanding of the sacrifice that millions of men and women make or have made to ensure you are blessed with great opportunities. I would also like to acknowledge Major Tom McGrath, Master Sergeant Jeff Bannock, Mr. Quincy Ford, Mrs. Michelle Housen, the Michigan City High School Junior ROTC, our band and choir for all of the work they have done in making this event possible. As a reminder, at the close of the ceremony, you will be dismissed either back to the parking lot if you catch the bus, or back to the main building if you catch a ride or walk home. Once again, please demonstrate respect for the remainder of this distinguished program. And now, our Master of Ceremony, Cadet Captain Alex Wyman.
Good afternoon. Today is Veterans Day, a federal holiday to honor American veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. We would like to welcome all veterans and members of our community. We will recognize those veterans present during the playing of the Armed Forces Medley during the ceremony. Today's ceremony is a modified military parade being performed by the Michigan City High School Band, Choir, and Marine Corps Junior ROTC.
No, never mind. At first I thought that was Mike in the back.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the colors and the singing of the national anthem. If you could please quiet down, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. One of the platoons on our drill team is the Armed Exhibition Platoon. We will now have a demonstration of Armed Exhibition, which is modeled after the United States Marine Corps Silent Drill Platoon. Our guest speaker today is State Senator Jim Arnold. Senator Jim Arnold was born in Michigan City and attended Michigan City Public Schools. He served on active duty in the U.S. Air Force and active reserve in the U.S. Army. Senator Arnold was first elected to the Indiana Senate in 2007 after serving 36 years in law enforcement. 32 of those years were with the LaPorte County Sheriff's Office. He currently serves as the ranking Democrat of 3 Senate committees. Additionally, he is a member of several local civic organizations, to include American Legion Post 451 in Michigan City. Senator Arnold earned a 4-year degree in political science and history from Valparaiso University and a paralegal certificate from Indiana University. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to our state senator, Senator Jim Arnold.
Thank you so much, Captain. Lieutenant Clay, Captain. Thank you very much for the great honor. Superintendent Watkins, and Principal McCullum, Council President Perry, distinguished visitors, and what an honor and pleasure it is for me to return to my hometown and get the opportunity to address the people that meant so much to me, so dear to me and my family as I was raised in this great community. And I like what I see happening in our school system, by the way. No matter what you may read, no matter what you may hear, I like the direction we're moving in, and when I see what took place here at these 3 ceremonies today, join with me in a big hand for these individuals. such an honor for me to be here today and represent the nearly 500,000 veterans in the state of Indiana on this Veterans Day 2014. But I'm going to ask you to stop for just a moment and reflect. 96 years ago today, November 11th, 1918, the armistice was signed. And that was an armistice that was supposed to stop the wars of all wars. It came to a close. In 1936, our great United States Congress passed a resolution saying that Veterans Day would now be a national holiday. And just 3 years later, in 1941, it all started again with World War II, over and over again. Will there ever be an end? Somewhere, sometime, a mother once said, "I dream of the day that I will give birth to a child that will one day say, 'Mommy, what was war?'" We can all only hope and pray that that would be the case. But today we honor those men and women that gave up the prime years of their life, many of them the same age as you are, sitting out here in this audience today, attending Michigan City High School, gave up the prime years of their life to go off and serve this country, to preserve the freedoms that we have today, to be able to hold sacred ceremonies such as honoring our veterans. Life is so short, but these men and women made a call, made a commitment to serve our country. God bless them all for what they did. Over a period of our nation's great histories, we have seen people fight war after war after war. What wars are fought over differ from time to time. The methods and the strategies used during those wars differ from time to time. The weapons that are used during those wars differ from time to time. But the one thing that remains constant about war is death. Death is what war is all about. Men die, women die, and civilians die. Hopefully, so that we can live in peace. But it never seems to end. And for what? We take the lessons from one war and just apply them to the next war as we move forward. I feel that I'm safe today in saying that if we were to take a poll, the people that would be most adamantly against war would be those people that have witnessed it firsthand. Those veterans that have gone off and fought these different wars. They'd be the first ones to say, we want no more wars. But I also think I'm safe to say that these veterans would be the first one to volunteer today to go off and fight again if that's what it takes to preserve this great nation. Every time I walk up those 14 steps at the state capitol, I feel blessed. I'm blessed that I get to sit on the floor of the Indiana State Senate. I'm blessed that I get to cast a yea or nay vote without any threats of repercussions or prosecution. And I'm blessed that I get to represent you in a great institution of the Indiana State government. This honor was assured and protected and preserved by the service of the men and women of the United States military, the greatest organization ever established in our lifetime today, the United States military. My deepest thanks to each and every one of them. And they were probably your grandparents, your parents, maybe your brothers and sisters, maybe just friends. But they made a decision, they made a commitment, and they answered the call. My father was a World War II veteran, served in the United States Navy in the Pacific. Never a lot of discussion about the war when Dad came home. Of course, I was pretty small at that time. But not a lot of discussion about what took place in the war. Now that Dad has passed, and my father was fortunate because he served as the mayor of this great city back in 1980, 1989. But very little discussion, but he left me a lot of scrapbooks. And in those scrapbooks, as I went through them after Dad passed, I see places that are only names in the history books that my father was at during World War II. Places like Saipan, Tinian, Iwo Jima, all the places that we read about today, where my father, your relatives, your friends, all served. To make sure that our government, to make sure the amenities we have today are preserved. You see, death is what war is all about. As I stated, men and women die to make sure that we preserve our freedoms. But we continually develop new weapons, better weapons, to kill more people faster, all in the name of peace. And where is the peace that we strive for? Someone one time said, the most constant sound reverberating through our nation's history is the constant beating of war drums. And the beat goes on. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to do something better in our world today. We've got to find a way that everybody can live in peace. Just 7 days ago, we had an election in this great country. In our area, 30% of the people turned out to vote. 30%, that's 3 out of 10 of the people that were eligible turned out to vote. 30% decided how the other 70% are going to be ruled. If you break it down further, the majority rules 16% of that 30%, or 16% of 100%, or 16% decided how the other 84% are going to be ruled or governed in this country. We ought to be ashamed of ourselves. And I hope that every one of you students go home today and ask your mother and father if they're registered to vote, if they're eligible to vote, and they didn't. Tell them that Jim Arnold said, shame on you. Shame on you for not exercising the right that these veterans up here, sitting before me, my fellow veterans, fought and served during peacetime to make sure that that right to election was preserved. It's sad. It's sad, but it's true. I want you to take just a moment to look at the person to the left of you, and then glance to the person to the right of you. There's an odds. There's an odds-on chance that that person may be a casualty in war someday. It's a horrible thought, but it's a reality. So I hope that you take that with you. I worked in the criminal justice field for 36 years in LaPorte County, and I saw what was right about this country. I see the educational system and opportunities afforded to people in our communities, and I see what's right about this great country. I see the number of freedom of religions to worship as you feel in this great country. And I see what's right about this great country. And as I look out over this great crowd today, I see what is right about this great country. These freedoms came at a price bought and paid for by a few, but enjoyed by everyone. And we must never forget that. I'm honored to be here today. I want to thank Major McGrath for affording me the opportunity to come here today and talk to you a little bit about these freedoms. I see each and every one of you and I say, God bless you. God bless each and every one of you here today. God bless the veterans, and God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Senator Arnold, sir. The band will now play the Armed Forces Medley. We ask that veterans stand during the playing of their respective service songs so that you can be recognized.
Yeah, sure. You're weird is what you are.
We will now have the choir sing God Bless America. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for a moment of silence as we remember our veterans who paid the ultimate sacrifice. Please be seated. To close our ceremony, architects will march in pass and review. As our color guard passes in front of you, please stand in respect for the symbol of our nation.
I think he might be 1 to 4. Oh my god, Darian, you're actually taller than people.
doesn't look like I look down upon.